Let's get some more insight from James Dorsey, who joins me live from Singapore. He's a senior fellow at Singapore's S. Rajaratnam School of International Studies. James, thank you so much for being with us on the program. So on one hand, we have a very fragile ceasefire taking place in Gaza. On the other, Israel continues to conduct raids in the occupied West Bank, raids that have been described by the UN as warlike tactics. We understand that Trump and Netanyahu, they're expected to meet today. I'm assuming the occupied West Bank is going to be a topic of discussion. What can we expect from that meeting?
Well, definitely the West Bank will be part of the discussion, but this is, in many ways, could be a make or break moment. If pressuring Netanyahu to accept the first phase of the ceasefire was difficult, pressuring Netanyahu to accept a second phase is going to make the first phase look like a piece of cake. The reason for that is that in the second phase is where the stakes really get high. You can only have a permanent ceasefire and a complete withdrawal of Israeli forces from Gaza if you have a plan for the governance of the Strip post-war. There is, at this point, no real plan on the table. A plan that would hand over governance, at least in part, to the Palestinians in an interim arrangement with international partners would likely collapse the Netanyahu government. So I think that that's one reason why we saw President Trump saying in recent hours that he was not sure the ceasefire would hold.
We are hearing from Israel confirming that they've sent a delegation to Qatar for these negotiations. How do you think those negotiations are going to unfold in the remaining time of phase one? Could it threaten the remaining process of phase one, the remaining hostages that are currently being held in Gaza, the prisoners, the Palestinian prisoners that are being held in Israeli jails? Talk to us a bit about this transition and the risks that come with it.
Theoretically, it could. I think at this point that both parties, Israel and Hamas, have an interest in getting the first phase of the ceasefire implemented in full. Now, the understanding is that the ceasefire will remain in place as long as both parties are negotiating. In other words, both parties have a veto right on that second phase negotiation. They can pull out saying these ceasefires are going nowhere. But as long as they're talking, the ceasefire will continue. So in that sense, that 42-day limit on the first phase of the ceasefire is fairly elastic. I think that at this point, both parties are going to want to go through the motions. Keep in mind that we don't know what Trump's precise position is. What we do know is that he has said, as well as his Middle East envoy, Steve Witkoff, that they want to see this ceasefire implemented in full. And that would require a lot of arm twisting on the part of Mr. Trump.
Okay, James Dorsey, thank you so much for joining us here on the NewsHour and sharing that analysis with us.
My pleasure.